Hey guys, I thought we'd start this video with doing the inserts for the tall envelopes and for the little pockets, and then I thought we would go on to matting and all of that. So we'll just see how much we can get done without making this video too terribly long. So the inserts for the tall envelope, let me get my book. So the tall envelope is on page 9. So the inserts for the tall envelope are the secondary mats for the tall envelope. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put that back together. I'm going to go ahead and get all of these out real quick. I'm even going to get this one because I'm going to need this for the pockets, for the little small pockets. Whoa. Some of them are losing stick. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is the ones that are the black envelopes, I'm going to use the craft cardstock as the insert. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I trace those out. Let me get a full sheet. This is craft cardstock by Recollections. And so the insert for these is actually the the secondary, because here's how it lays out. The secondary mat for the tall envelope. So what you want to do is you want the tallest one and then the square. And I think it will fit perfectly on this 8.5 by 11. Yes, it does. So what you want to do is you just want to lay it down there, trace it out. The secondary mats for the tall envelope are on page 25. It's not this one on top, it's this one underneath. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and lay this one right on top there and just trace it out as well. So the reason I did it that way is because I want it to be together, those two pieces to be together. So then I'm just going to trim right inside that pencil line, just like that, and then going to get my scoreboard out, and I'm going to score it right on that pencil line. Before I fold it though, where's my pencil? I'm going to erase this pencil line just real quick because it's a little bit dark for this paper. Okay, so it's scored, then you fold it over. This is a Fiskars paper trimmer, and that was a Martha Stewart scoreboard and bone folder. So this now goes perfectly inside of the tall envelope pocket. So then when we go to mat that insert, we're going to use the top part, the colored piece right here. So that's one way to do the insert. Another way, for the craft cardstock envelopes, I'm going to do a black insert. So let me show you what I did. So instead of tracing them out, what I decided to do was print off page 25 onto black cardstock. So I am just going to, this black cardstock is Recollections as well. I'm just going to go ahead and trim it out. It's hard to see the lines when you're using black cardstock, especially with the bright light. So I'm going to trim it out like this. And then this piece, I cut it off, obviously, right? So what I'm going to do with this piece is I'm going to have this, and I'm going to keep my scraps because I'll probably need that. So I'm going to have this to be the insert for the pocket. So it's going to go right here, just like that. And then if you didn't want to score that and you just wanted to try to fold it, you can totally do that. It's not hard. So if you didn't want to score everything all the time, you can totally just fold it. So then the insert goes inside here, just like that. Right? So we need one for every one, and then I'm going to go ahead and the mats, the black mats that are going to go on the craft cardstock, you do that the same way. You just take your mat, you place it onto the black cardstock like this, and you trim it out, and then you cut it out, and it mats it perfectly. Well, let's go ahead and use my paper trimmer since it's sitting out. So this is the mat for right here. So that's the black mat. So I'm going to go ahead and get all the black mats cut for the craft cardstock, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got all the mats cut out for the envelope, and what I ended up doing for this part right here, since you didn't need the whole full mat, was I just used the same template that goes on the square part of the envelope, the flat part of the envelope, and I just made one more extra for that part because I decided to go ahead and mat it because I think I'm going to go ahead and put pattern paper on there too. So I'm going to be using Fabri-Tac by Beacon. You can use whatever adhesive you want. You can use a tape runner, you can use score tape, you can use tacky glue, you can use white glue, whatever floats your boat. This is just my favorite of all time, the Fabri-Tac. Okay, so there's the front part, and then I did cut 2 squares for the flap, front and back. One of the reasons I like Fabri-Tac is you get time to move it around, like wiggle it and get it right in the right spot. It can be a little messy at times if you're a little careless, which seems like when I'm filming I do seem to be a little careless. I don't know why. It just seems to happen. So once you get everything cut out and you go to start gluing everything down, it's just so fast. So super fast. And then there's the piece for that. Just like that. And it just looks so nice. Once you get everything matted, it's like, oh, that looks so pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of these and attach them, and I'll be back. Okay, so I got all of the black mats on there. Easy peasy. No problemo. So now what we want to do is we want to do the pattern paper. So I'm going to start with the inside envelope, this black one, and we're using a romance novel by Marion Smith. And so what I did was I went and I pulled a page of each pattern, excluding the ones that have like little mini envelopes and stuff, which are adorable, by the way. There's a couple, there's like 3 or 4, there might even be 5. There's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 different sheets like this, so that's kind of fun to be able to cut apart all those little fun things. But so anyway, what I want to do now is I want to just start matting everything. So all you have to do is just start picking out papers that you think are going to look good together. So I didn't pull one of the ones I used on the cover, so I'm going to put, where'd it go? I'm going to put this one aside so that I don't use it on the first page. And that one too, just because it looks kind of similar. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick out some paper that I like. So when I'm matting the black envelope, I'm not going to be using the traceable template that's on top. I'm just going to be using the secondary mat because I don't want to go and do, you know, a craft cardstock mat and then this. I just think it would be, you know, kind of fun to mix it up a little bit. So we'll need the secondary mat for the black envelope. So I'm just going to pick a spot. I'm just going to go right here, I think. I need 2 of them, and I don't know if 2 of them will fit. Well, let's see. I don't know if I want the same pattern, top and bottom. I don't think I do. So the front one's going to be this, and then what can the back one be? The back one can maybe be this pink, like up here, or maybe the front one can be this pink. I don't know, we'll see. So you just want to trace it out. And then if you want, you can get your paper trimmer out, or just use your scissors. Simple as that. So then you want to make sure that you cut it right, which I did. That looks pretty good. I like it. Okay, so I got these two cut, traced and cut. So that's the way I like to do it. I like to kind of just lay it on there before I move on to the next part. So let's do, how would that look? Let's do this piece for the top square. Simple, lay it down, trace it out. Cut right inside that pencil line. So then it'll go like this. So this is kind of how I lay out, you know, which pattern papers I'm gonna choose. So then I'll maybe want something dark down here. So let me get this one. Trace it out. So that one's going to go right there. Okay, so now I need something on the back side of there. So what am I going to use? Maybe I'll use this pink again on the back side. Maybe I wonder if I should use this part. That might be kind of fun. Might be a little wasteful though. No, we're doing it. So then it's going to go like that. So then now we need to decide, oh, you can't even see, huh? Now we need to decide if we're going to mat this. Let's see what it looks like. So this time, since this is already this size, we do need to use the traceable template. So I'm just going to lay it on here in this corner right here. And we'll just see what it looks like. I hadn't decided if I was going to mat them or not. And so it'd be right there like that. It looks kind of cool, doesn't it? I don't think I'm going to mat the long piece though. That'd be good for writing or photos. I could mat the back, but I'm not going to mat the front and the back. So I'm just going to mat this top part here. I think it looks good. So I'm going to ink all of these pieces that I just cut up with Ranger Archival ink and coffee. And I'm going to use the Tim Holtz blending tool. And I'm going to ink them all up, and I'm going to ink the inserts up too. And I'll probably go ahead and cut mats for the other black envelope. And then I'll be back. Okay, so I got both sets of mats for the two black envelopes. So I am just going to go ahead and just start adding them real quick. Just using the Beacon Fabri-Tac again. Beautiful. I love it. It looks so pretty. Okay, I'm going to add these back ones and I'll be right back. Okay, so while I was gone, I went ahead and cut templates for everything and went ahead and added them just to kind of save time. I cut the mats for everything, for all the pages and stuff. So I just figured I would just flip through and show you really quick. And I also wanted to point out that some of the things that I didn't double side, I have lots of scraps left over that I could totally go back and add stuff to the back sides or whatever. But I think I'm going to hold off on that because the only one I did do on both sides is the insert for this pocket right here. So I did mat both sides of that because this one's got a lined, it's a lined paper, so I thought it'd be fun to be able to write on there. But I have some embellishments from this paper line from when it first came out, but just in case I don't have enough of what I want, I might have to make some of my own. So I'm going to hold off on covering everything up completely. So I just kind of wanted to point that out. So you already seen this one that I did. So like there's the insert. So I matted those two. Just real simple because I knew it was going to be covered up mostly. And then here's the two envelopes. I did add Velcro. And that is these Velcro thin clear fasteners. I got mine at Joann's when I was there. But I will link everything that I can possibly think of in the description box below. I've been trying to be better about that so that you guys can know what I'm using and where to get it. But anyway, so I did put little Velcro dots on there to keep those closed. So I matted both of those envelopes, and then I matted just one part of the insert like that for both inserts. Okay, so that's those envelopes, and then here is the insert for that back pocket right there. I matted it with that same paper, with the lined paper, and then matted both of these. And then here's that back black envelope. It's got the magnet closure, and then there's the insert for that. So you know, I could go ahead and mat all of this if I want to, but I'm going to hang off on it until I get all the embellishments done. And then I also matted the cover, the flap part, these two pieces right there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to gather my embellishments and see what I got going on, and I'll be back. So look, I told you I had stuff left over from the original romance novel paper collection from when it first came out, and I started to look for it. I went and looked for it and went and looked at all these different piles of things that I have, and you're not going to believe how much stuff I found. It's like almost crazy. So I was going to show you really quick before I started playing all of this. Holy cow, right? Let's see, I found these butterflies, and I found these wood embellishments, these clocks and things. You all have seen these before. I didn't use them. I think it was in the last album that I made. I was trying to think. These decorative wood embellishment cards that have words like journey and beauty. Some flowers. Obviously, I've used some of these over the years, but check it out. All these flowers. Look at all this. Do you remember when every collection used to have Say It in crystals? Look at all these different ones. And these are all romance novel. Romance novel, romance novel, romance novel, romance novel. 2012. So this is 4 years old. But check it out. I found all these. There's these paper clips, romance novel. There's buttons. Buttons aren't very pretty though. I don't know if I'll use those. But anyway, buttons. There's all these chipboard pieces, but I did look through these, and I think most of these are way too big for this little small album that I've made, but got all these chipboard pieces. Here's some vintage trinkets, like these little tiles and these little charms, and here's some more vintage trinkets. Aren't they cute? What else did I find? I found this alphabet stickers in pink, and I can't tell if that's black or dark brown. It looks like black. So these, and then I also found these alphabet stickers that come in all these different fonts, and then some words. Oh, and these wood buttons, these wood embellishment buttons that kind of look like buttons. Is that all? I mean, there was so much stuff. It was crazy. Every time I turned around, there was something new that I was like, oh man. So anyway, so I'm just going to start piddling about with this stuff, and I may have to supplement a little bit because the flowers, I've noticed there's not that many pretty flowers left. Everything's black and yellow. But I really want some of the pink, and then, you know, there's some of this bluish color, so I want some of that in there. Here's the other flowers. So I'm assuming that these had more color in them. I don't remember, but so I wanted something a little bit prettier, color-wise, to go. So I might have to supplement a little bit, but anyways. So I'm going to play around for a minute, and I'll be back. Okay, so I have sped this up quite a bit because I ended up playing around with all this different stuff for a very long time. And I tried to record most of it, but it was a long time. It took me, an hour, hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours. It took me quite a bit of time. So I sped it up pretty good because I wanted you guys to be able to see how much fiddling I do with all the pieces, and just to show you that, it's okay to move stuff around, change your mind, just keep moving it until it looks pretty to you. Even after you've glued stuff down, you can still move it around, which you'll see here in a little while. I had opened those metal Prima flowers and was playing around with that for a minute, but I really just didn't like it. I felt like it clashed with the clasp a little bit, so I ended up not using that at all. And so I just cut some of those flowers apart, the Prima flowers, just cutting them off their little stems there, and so they'll be loose so I could play. And then I got that vintage trinket out, which I really like. I think it's adorable, and it ended up staying, so I really liked it there. And so I started gluing stuff down, so I finally committed to doing something. Now, I'd probably been fiddling around for this now for about, 30 minutes. It was quite some time. And I used the scrap dots on that vintage trinket, and I have to say, I'm doing this voiceover the next day, and I'm looking and holding this journal in my hand, and that trinket still kind of wiggles a little bit. And it took forever to dry. Somebody asked me how long it took to dry, and I really don't know, but it really took a long time. So I wasn't really liking that at all. Not when I had to go on the inside and do some stuff on the inside, So I went and got me some of the tealish color flowers out because I really think it made the cover pop, and I played around with all the different types of flowers that I had. And you'll see, I just keep messing about, changing and moving, and I just didn't seem to like anything. It was driving me crazy. And I had so much stuff out, and honestly, I really didn't use very much stuff that actually came with the paper line, or that was designed to be, used with the paper line. A lot of it was just too big, or like those clothespins up there on the left, they were just too thick. They were thicker than the space between the pages. They're cute, but I couldn't use them in my little mini album because this technically is really a mini album. It's not, I don't even know what the size is, but it's tiny. It's not super tiny. I guess I could measure it for you. Let's see if I can find something real quick. I would say it's a little under 6 inches tall by a little over 4 inches wide. So it's kind of tall. It's kind of small. So I'm starting to glue more stuff down. Oh, those tiny little those little blue rosettes. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. I don't think they make them anymore. I think I got them at Michael's in their bridal section. Sorry about the squeaky chair. But they're so pretty. They're so nice. So I ended up using 3 of those, I believe. And those little tiny pink flowers, those are also from Michael's. They're recollections. They're so tiny. And they were perfect. It was perfect for this size album. Because a lot of embellishments can be too big for little mini albums. So I decided I was going to go straight down the middle of the covers since I had that flap coming over, and it was not right directly in the center. It went over further past the center. So I decided to just do my embellishments straight down, and I was careful to avoid blocking that clasp mechanism thingy there so that it could swing down. And I did. I managed to do that, and it works perfectly. So I'm playing with the satin crystals, playing with the placement. I just really wanted, since the little trinket, the vintage trinket down at the bottom there had a whole bunch of like blingy bling on it, I really wanted to kind of spread that up through the whole center. So I ended up putting some there, And later I ended up adding some at the top too. So you just saw I changed out that flower. It was too big and it was sticking off of the cover too high and it was driving me crazy, and I was like, quit fighting it and just pick another one. So that's what I did, and I like it a lot better. It turned out a lot better. So I'm using some of the flowers now from the Paperline collection, and just to give, all the colors that are in the collection onto the cover without it being too crazy looking. And you'll notice I'll tear stuff apart, like I'll rip the leaves and maybe some of the layers off to make it smaller so that it'll tuck in. Like I said, the embellishments are too big for this little mini album. So these little flowers, the little white ones, those are from Hobby Lobby, and I'm pretty sure it's Paper Studio. I don't know if they still call them that. I think they're changing the name to like Poppy something or not. I don't know, but anyway, I bought them a long time ago, so they're Paper Studio. So I'm adding one more of those blue flowers right on top of that mechanism, the part that's on the flap, but it didn't get in the way at all. The thing still opens, and I'm pretty sure I'll check it here in a minute just to make sure. Yeah, it still opens and closes just fine. So I go ahead and add the flower on top, and here's where I add some more of the bling. Okay guys, here is the finished mini album. Isn't it cute? Look at how thick it is. And the embellishments are keeping the pages upright. But I just love the way the cover turned out. I wasn't really sure about it at first, but it looks so cool. I really like it. And I still can't believe how many products I found that were actually from the romance novel line that came out 4 years ago. I mean, that's crazy. So, I really didn't do a whole lot inside because it's really meant for you to put, pictures, cut pictures down to add and to, write a little bit, do a little bit of journaling, that kind of stuff. And I didn't put anything in here. I didn't add any embellishments or anything in there because, it's kind of a flat surface there, so we don't want to make it too thick. So I just added a little flowers here and there. And, a lot of these flowers I had to supplement from what I had because I really, really, really wanted the pink and green or the bluish green teal color in my embellishments as well. So I had to supplement, and they were mostly, I'm thinking they were mostly, I'll have to look, but I'm pretty sure they were mostly like Hobby Lobby or something like that, little tiny flowers, and the little wood embellishments, the little tickets, they're so cute, little heart. And I used some of the bling, some of the satin crystals on that page with a little bit of the flowers that actually came with the collection. And then that was a charm that came with the collection, and it's got a little dangly thingy, dangly. And I just glued it down and then added a little flower over top of there. And it works beautifully. It looks perfect. I think it's great. It just adds that little bit of extra something, And then on this side, there's another one of those charms. I ended up using all of the charms that I had left of those. And another wood piece and a few flowers. And then there's another wood piece there. And then there's another wood ticket. This one's got a magnet on it. Wood ticket with a couple little flowers, and that's it. That's just really it. I can't really put anything on here because it actually, lays flat onto the top of that cover, so I can't put anything there. And I decided not to put anything here because I figured it would compete with the pages a little bit. But isn't this cute? I swear this turned out so adorable. I really like it. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and leave me a comment below and let me know what you think. And I will see you next time. Bye.